Hi. Today I want to go to showcase what I've built about the Graphee.link. Quite hard to pronounce it. So this is a website to help me to find my next coffee. Because I'm an IT guy, I'm a Java developer, and I like build products. So I just built a website. So the problem for me, why I build a website, because I find it's hard to find my next coffee. Actually, I can spend all my money to buy a lot of coffee, but I find it's quite not that efficiency. And I asked my friend, she suggests, I asked her a question about what is the difference between Colombia and Ethiopia. And she suggests me just like going to the website or buy one, try to taste it yourself. And I don't like it. So I just built a website. So the tech stack is in Java, Spring Boot, because I do Java developers. I'm also using Neo4j as a graph database. I'm using Redis as cache. I will show it later. So you can see here, this is the website. This is not the first version. The older version is like more chaotic because I try to get all the data and then I try to showcase all the user. But I found out that this is not efficiency at all. This my friend say my junior friend say he suggests it's hard to read. I don't know what I'm picking. I don't know what I choose. So I just how to simplify it, like version 2, version 3, version 4. And then what I do is I transform the unorganized roasted data. I show it here. So you can see here, I like Swansea coffee and I like other projects. And I capture the data from them. I'm using the sitemap. So every website, mostly is using Shopify, they have an XML sitemap to indicate their products. So I'm using the products and grabbing the tasting looks, the process, the origins, and then using OpenAI as a like an embedding model. You're not using the model, embedding model. So it's a cheap efficiency. I can just extract all the data into a JSON and then back into the database. You can see I just capture all the data, the coffee products in here. You can see I just capture all the tasting notes. And it's more interesting. I tried to create my vector. If you understand what the vector is an embedding a directions that you can find similar products with that directions. So for example, it's fancy coffee here. Oops, yeah, this is a pack coffee. Now I go into this fancy coffee. Swansea, I'm getting dark now. Swansea, I was just search. So I am, this is one color project. So I just build a vector. It's a number, a direction, pointing using like acidity 0.5, complexity 0.5, body, fluidity, sour, sweet. However, this is not the first version. It's like a 3 or 4 version because I'm still learning. I consult the roaster. I learn from the James Hoffman. They have a video talk about how to finding the best flavor, how to reading the tasting notes, and I try to learn from it. After that, I just created the vector, a custom vector, the mapping all the flavor, the axis, so I can easily define similar product. Then what I've missed. So this is how it look like. It's a product. You can see how the process, and then I just transform it into database. After that, I also transform it into a Neo4j data looks. So you can see Swansea coffee here, and then I map it into the product, the Kata project, and I'm also mapping like all the flavor, all the tasting looks in here, the producer, the process, map for, and I can easily define a similar process or similar tasting log products. It's not hard, it's not. That is passion fruit is outdated. But yeah, you can see here, you can find something like Ethiopia, the product is shared, similar tasting looks. So what I'm done is transform the unstructured data into the Neo4j looks, mapping into the graph database, and let it easily to find out the related product. So, and then I just got all the data. What I'm doing next is I create a graphic tools, help me to search for this. You can see the list here. You can see all the brand here, the Neo, and then I create a tools called it the favor. And I know this is chaotic. I built it and I found that actually it's not quite useful. I tried to find out the correlated data between each other. So I just built the graph, something like chemistry graph. So you can see, you can click lemony, and you can see this font with it's a Curtis strict citrus flavor or blood orange. Then blood orange usually showing with the cranberry, blackberry. And I'm using this one to find out. I want to try to find out my next coffee beans. Yeah, you can see this one showing all the one. But I found out that actually to click through all the graph, all the grid, it's actually not quite useful. So for next step, I invoke this wheel into a deep dive. So you can see here, no, not this one, the tasting notes. You can deep dive with the tasting notes. It's also using Neo4j. So you can kicking it something like I want flora. Then I just say I want rose. So it will show you all the flavor that contain that flora and rose. And actually is better for me to try to find my next coffee bean. Or you can also try something like unusual run, where's the run? Or mixed berry. Yeah, you can see this one. It's interesting. You can try something like this. And after that, I also created, after that, when I learned from how to roast coffee, how the coffee grows, I found out that actually I can build a map, mapping all the origins into a map. So you can see this is a map. I just map all the origins. You can see you easily find Colombia. And with this map, I start to learn the geographic. So I understand that the coffee must be growing on the mountain. So I just added terrain. You can see this all roads, the origins is on the mountains. And I can actually easily clicking each node to find out what they produce, what that origin produced the coffee. And it's quite interesting and it's useful. I built lots of tools with this map. It may be a little bit overwhelmed. You can see the favor, you can see the climate, you can see this the temperature, rainfall, solar. It's really fun to find your next coffee. You can also in China, you can see that some beans in there. It's more interesting. Is it, I never know that Indonesia they produce coffee, but actually Indonesia is in the coffee belt, and I think that is quite the leg trend with the Indonesia. It could be something more interesting from there. So in the graph in the map, you can find something unusual. So after that, lastly, I understand how the process create different flavor, like the wash did create more clean coffee, the lacto, the honey create more like an intense, and using that kind of process method, I also create this the filter. So I'm also using Neo4j, using the graph relationship. You can see something like I just learned about honey yesterday, and actually honey with Colombia plus geisha is something I want to try next, but it's quite expensive. So this is the graph I built. And lastly, I just want to show you that I also built a chat. So you can see kicking here. Oh, not this one. I like the one expensive, so let me try again. Honey, Colombia, Geisha, this expensive one. Then this one, I can ask the chatbot. I This is the one that the vector useful when I create it. So I just ask the AI similar profile. So it will fetching the beans, the vector profile, and then as a RAG supplying to the reasoning model, which I am now using GROK model, GROK, and then let him to build a GQL graph, and it will go again to the Neo4j database, finding what he wants. He suggests a similar profile to me, so you can see here. So you can see they got something similar profile, acidity, complexity, flavor, looks. For me, it's really useful. And lastly, I a little overtime. Is it overtime or not? Let me just check. Oh, it's getting dark now. It's 11 minutes. So I'm also building a profile. I want to keep track the coffee I bought, I try, I like or not. So I just create a dashboard to show the beans that I bought and I like. I then think about actually I can use it to use that vector I create in a chatbot. So actually, if I clean this one, let me try to reload it. Yeah, because if I got a profile that match it, I can just like find coffee similar to the one I want to try. If we're using my data in the database, the vector database, or using the tasting logs, aggregate it, and then give me go doing the process again, grab the data using the rec, and then give me back the result. You can see actually, I made interesting to do this one. Oh, there's dark rows. Okay, okay. Yeah, so this is basically what I try to show you how to use WAG and LLM, transform the unorganized data into a structured data, a graph data, to give you insight, to help you define something you are or trying to solve your problem. And lastly, I'm building an insight web page. Is a something like crawling. It's another use scenario. So you can actually use the LLM to ask him to go through the website. For right now, you can see it's a perfect diagram. You can see using all the data from the news, then supplement with all your data and ask the LLM to generate a report for you that will be give you some more interesting insight with your data and the internet data. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope that will help you to find out any news use scenario here because I found using OpenAI embedding just transform all the data into organized data, capture it, store it into a graph or caching. Oh, yeah, it's really, really useful. And at the end, I just want to share how I use Redis in the chat. So what if I something like asking some silly question? First is to load from the LLM, but if that a lot of present use the LLM is like trying to jailbreak. So this could be break my bank, backdoor the token, you say. So I found that Redis is really useful. I may have to create a common question here, so just try to catch this one. But for right now, I just cache it the similar question. So if it asks, this is what is the weather today, and he will be caching in the database, in the Redis cache. If he asks again, something like, what is the weather today? I took so long, forgot. Yeah, if let him to ask again, I think I have an issue with the server. It will just catch it. Yeah, so I just walk up here. Yeah. Let me just ask again, what is the weather today? It should be going to the cache and not triggering the LM, but maybe I'm just, yeah, we can stop it. Let me double check again. So, yep, this is what I've built. I hope it can help you to something like build your own project, try to find out how can use OpenAI or other tools, transform the unorganized data into the organized data. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me or leave in the comment. Or if you have any problem you want to solve, just ping me. I'm really, I want to inspire more people to use how to use or the new kind of technologies, not just programming, but also using AI to build something like to solve your problem. Yep, thank you. Let me just stop here.